And so begins another glorious adventure. What awaits us today?
Oscar stood beside his covered wagon, looking out at the rolling plains. Brilliant sunlight began blossoming up over the horizon, as if it were a miraculous flower. In many ways, it was, for both the sun and flowers were gifts of the natural world. Oscar was a broad-chested man, with hairy arms, a hairy chest, and a thinning head of brown hair. His eyes were dark brown. Oscar wore a pair of brown slacks, his worn leather traveling boots, a light blue cotton shirt, and a pair of suspenders for his slacks. He grinned wider as he drank from a pewter mug that contained black tea. The rest of his family was still asleep, but that was okay. Many of the other wagons were still sleeping too. Yesterday had been a tough one for travel. The sunlight began pouring over the plains, and the 50 other wagons became drenched in the glorious radiance. 50 families trekking across the wide expanse of the continent, facing the elements and danger alike. A pair of light brown horses, Pim and Pom, pulled their covered wagon.
Dad, have you been up for a long time?
Oscar glanced over his shoulder and saw his eldest daughter, Brittany, crawling from underneath the wagon. The rest of the family was still under there, but they were starting to stir as well. Brittany was 14 years old, and she was still in her awkward, gangly phase of growing into her own body. She was about as tall as Oscar's shoulders, with light blondish-brown hair, a pair of green eyes, and freckles all over her face. She wore a light blue and white evening dress with short sleeves and a pair of socks.
Oh, I've been up for an hour or so. Get dressed so we can start on breakfast. I'm assuming the wagon train might be rolling out pretty soon. If we can have breakfast cooked before we leave, then we can eat on the road.
Yeah. I wonder how far we'll get today. Do you think we might make it 50 miles?
We can certainly try, but it all depends on how the weather holds up, and if we run into any more trouble.
I hope we don't run into any more monsters.
Brittany started to climb into the back of the wagon, where their trunks of clothes were located. Moments later, 2 young boys crawled out from underneath the wagon. Gregor was 10, and Timothy was 8. Gregor had dark black hair with a pair of brown eyes, while Timothy had dark brown hair with blue eyes.
Morning, Dad. Do you think we can go hunting today when we stop to make camp?
Yeah, can we please, Dad? Papa said it was okay if you said it was okay.
Well, Papa and I will talk about it while we travel. Get in the back and get dressed. We have to hurry if we're going to make breakfast.
With the speed of young hares, the 2 boys bounced around to the back of the wagon.
Wait until I'm done, you little trolls.
Dad, Papa! Brittany is calling us names again.
Ew! You stink! You smell like dripping butts!
The last member of the family, Papa, also known as Charles, crawled out from underneath the wagon, wearing just a pair of slacks. Charles was a tall, muscular, and dark-skinned man with thick black hair and a pair of the kindest brown eyes. Eyes that were so dark, they were almost black gems.
Morning, beloved. So, we should reach Osera tomorrow, right?
You ask me that every day. We probably still have 3 more months of travel. At least that's what the trail leader said.
When we started the Osera Trail, we knew it would take around 7 months to complete, but damn. How does the horizon look?
Oh, promising. There is a great hope waiting for us, far in the distance.
You say that every morning. And I love that about you too.
Charles stepped up to Oscar, gently kissed him on the lips, and then maneuvered to the back of the wagon. As soon as he saw whatever their children were doing, Charles grinned.
What are you two doing?
I told them to hurry up and stop playing around.
Shut up! You're not the boss of us.
Yeah, you're not the boss of us.
Well, I am. One half of your bosses. I say hurry up so we can help your dad make breakfast. You have to the count of 20 to finish or you can't go hunting. Beloved.
1, 2, 3.
A gentle breeze blew past the long line of covered wagons. Upon the wind danced a pleasant floral fragrance from somewhere, beyond the sight of the long line of wagons. Oscar and his family were perhaps the 34th from the front, but at least they were not in the back. To their left was a small valley that dipped into some low-landing marshes beside a great river. To their right, there were higher highlands that looked to be mostly unoccupied. Behind them was a past worth leaving behind. And in front, well, who knows what waited for them. Charles was in the back with the boys, looking out at the terrain that they had passed from the back of the wagon. Occasionally, either Timothy or Gregor would wave to or make faces at the kids who were in the wagon behind them. Brittany sat beside Oscar, dressed in a pair of traveling slacks, some boots, and a long-sleeved white shirt. At the moment, she stared off into the hills, not really looking at anything.
So, where did we leave off yesterday? Ah, yes, number 81 of your list of things to do once we get to Osera.
Dad, we're not up to 81. I told you all the things I wanted to do, like last month. I don't know that I can think of anything else.
Oscar gestured the reins to her.
Do you want to drive?
Really?
Well, sure. It's not that hard. You just hold tight and let Pim and Pom do all the work.
Brittany's gonna crash us, and then we're all gonna die!
No fair. I want to drive.
If you drive, we really will crash. You're too small. You can drive when you're her age.
But we'll be there by then.
Oh, wow! Look, there's a bear in the river!
What? Cool! Where?
Oscar passed the reins to Brittany, who held them tightly in her grasp, as if the fate of the world hung in the balance. Still, a wide smile smeared the young woman's face.
You don't have to hold them so tight. Just relax and feel free to flick the reins if they're going too slow. But also be prepared to pull the reins if the wagon in front of us gets too close.
Right.
Charles sat on one of the trunks, right behind Brittany, within the wagon.
You know, as wagon driver, you get to select the topic of conversation. Those are the rules of the Osera Trail.
Really? I never heard that rule before.
Well, you never drove the wagon before.
Okay. There is something I want to ask about.
What would you like to know, darling?
You know how you and Dad fought together in the Great War? The one that, made us orphans.
Yes. What about it, sweetheart?
We left all that fighting back where we came from, right? There won't be anything like that in Osera, will there?
Oh, sweetheart, that would be wonderful. However, there's no guarantee that it won't happen in Osera.
But why?
Humans are just that way. We're violent and full of all this emotion. Now, in many cases, it's good emotion, like the love between your papa and me, or the love that we have for you. You'll find heaps of love in Osera.
Oh, yeah, 'cause we're bringing it with us.
Yes, we are. Now, neither your dad or I want you to worry about something like the Great War, okay? It ended 5 years ago, and part of the reason we're on the Osera Trail is to start over.
Well, Becky Frumble said that her mom said that another great war is about to start.
Did she now? Well, looks like we're gonna have to have a little talk with Becky Frumble's mother, aren't we?
I don't want to get her in trouble. She's one of the only friends I'll have in Osara. By the time we get there.
No one is gonna get in trouble. Your dad and I just don't want to have you worried over something like that. Now, to piggyback off your dad's point, humans have so many emotions. Some good and some bad.
But how do we get rid of bad emotions?
I don't know that you can. Not for lack of trying, but because there are so many people out there who don't want to give them up. They like the bad emotions. They like being angry and hating and hurting others.
That's terrible.
That is terrible. When the government started the Osera homesteading program, your dad and me jumped at the chance to start over and have a clean environment that wasn't so polluted by ancient hate and aggression.
But you said there's no guarantee that it won't happen in Osara. Could there be bad people in this wagon train?
There very well may be. But you can't fixate on how other people around you may act or think. The best thing you can do is just be the best you that you can be. Focus on being a good member of the community and a good big sister, and it will all work out in the end.
Also, keep this in mind. Osera is going to be what we make it. When we get there, we're going to build a big house where each of you kids have your own rooms.
My own room?
That's right. We're going to plant some crops and then also start a blacksmithing business. Once we get settled, we're going to have a bustling town. A good town where you can forge your dreams and goals. Anything you want to do.
Anything I want to do?
That's right. So what would you like to do in Osera? I mean, in 4 short years, you'll be of an age where you can get your own job. 18 is a big year. Have you given it any thought?
I have. I want to start an orphanage that's also a school, but different from the one where me, Timothy, and Gregor were living. My orphanage is going to be different and special.
How will it be different and special?
I remember how scary and sad the orphanage was. The people who ran it didn't really care about us, and the 3 of us were so lucky to have you and Papa come in to find us.
We are the lucky ones.
I want to create a safe space for other kids who have lost everything, like for what you 2 did for us. I want to make sure each kid I work with knows they are loved and that they all learn important skills and lessons so they can take care of themselves when they turn 18 like me. Does that sound dumb?
That sounds amazing. You make us so proud of you.
How about you let me drive for a while, and you can go keep your brothers entertained?
Okay. Papa? Dad? I know I say it a lot, but thank you for choosing us.
Are you kidding? Thank you for letting us choose you. Now get back there and make sure they aren't throwing things at other wagons' horses.
Charles and Brittany traded places, and soon it was just Ozkar and Charlez, momentarily alone.
Oh, Sarah. It will be a great chance for new beginnings for all of us.
I can't wait until they have their own rooms again. If for nothing else but for us to be able to stretch out and sleep in.
Says the man who wakes up first every morning bright and early. You know we really are doing a great job in raising them, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Thank you for choosing me.
You chose me back. Becky Frumble's mother is right. Another great war is going to start. It probably already started.
Yeah.
They'll probably come after us one day. I mean, we did abandon our posts, stole Osera land grants, changed our names, and left everything behind.
What other choice did we have? Stay and fight another meaningless war? Let our family become orphaned again?
You know that's not what I'm saying. At least no one has figured out who we are yet. By the goddess's grace, please let it never be known.
You are Charles, a blacksmith, and I am Oscar, a farmer. Nothing more. Neither of us know anything about the whereabouts of General Douglas Venn or Commander Alexei Mobufu. And why would we?
Why would we indeed? Do you really think Osera is far enough?
Far enough from the Second Great War? No. Not by a long shot. But I don't want to think about that. The only thing I want to think about is how to make Brittany's dream a reality.
We will make it come alive together. The sooner we get to Osera, the sooner we can really be free from our past. At least for a little while.
We'll get there soon enough. Maybe tomorrow.
I will hold you to it, Commander. And if we're not there tomorrow, then you have to wash all the clothes. And that's in order.
Beloved, have a heart.
Dad, Papa! Gregor is hitting me!
I'm not. He's hitting me.
Am not!